baby, I haven't seen a side of you in forever. And I hate it's the truth, but baby, you never do when we're alone together. It was good to see you smile. Girl, you know it's been a while. It was good to see you smile, even if it was just for the picture.
Hey folks, Jesus is coming soon. I'd like to explain that little clip at the beginning. You know, I'm human, and with all the traumas and things that just, you know, fall apart constantly, some things I don't try for it to go unnoticed, but they do. And my goodness, I sat and thought after I seen my wife smile yesterday that she's not the only one. I haven't seen her smile in a while, you know, and there's some things I got to change about. I got to make her smile more. She's so beautiful, and I know a lot of people won't get it. We've been through a lot in our 17 years of being together, and it's not self-inflicted things either, you know. Just I see people get divorced on a daily basis for a smidgen. I mean, just a tiny little speck of a crumb that you can't even see with your eye compared to the stuff that me and her has went through and stuck it out in the Lord. And, you know, the best way to explain, I talked to my wife about all this yesterday. It's hard for me to talk about certain things, and when the Lord puts it on me, I do it. But this egg don't crack, you know. I'll do anything the Lord puts on me to do, but I ain't gonna go out of my way and talk about things. Otherwise, there's some things that I won't talk about here. I haven't felt to talk about it, but my goodness, y'all. When you, now I know there's people out there that will understand this only because they went through it too, and you can't explain it to people, though you want to, but you can't. It's impossible in this flesh to explain something like that. But well, my heart stopped in 2019, and I was there in the presence of the Lord, and the things I saw and felt and heard, and my goodness, though it was overwhelming joy, just to the point where it's you can't understand it. People say all the time Jesus loves you. Everybody hears it all the time, but you just don't truly comprehend that. I felt it. Most beautiful thing I've ever felt in my life, and I wanted to stay there. And ever since that day when the Lord brought me back, though I didn't want to come back here, but He brought me back here, no matter what I do, and I'm not looking to find that here in this life, but I can't find joy anymore in anything. Nothing. It's so hard to explain. Once I felt that, I used to find joy in things, and like fishing and doing this and doing that, and I can't anymore. I know it don't make sense to a lot of people, but again, the people who's experienced that will understand. I've met I don't know, 3 or 4 people that's went through that and felt that. Their heart has stopped and medically died, whatever you want to call it, and they get it. They're the same way I am with that. And it's not that you... it's so hard to explain, y'all. And all I could do is apologize to my wife. Truly, she's been... I don't deserve her. She's just... I don't know, just wonderful to me. And I said it ain't always been this way for me. There was time where we didn't hurt for anything. I mean, it's not that bad now, but I'm saying pre-injuries, things were different. We both smiled all the time. We both, I mean, we could just pick up and do whatever we wanted to and not have to worry about bills or, oil field rich is what I was. So, this stuff's embarrassing, but I don't care. It's placed on me to do, so I'm going to do it. I went from oil field rich, if you will. I mean, I could, back then I could go out and just buy whatever I wanted to and not even think about it. It didn't matter. Went from that to a turd on the bottom of a shoe poor. Literally almost overnight. And people say, and I used to say it too, that won't happen to me. That can't happen to me. Buddy, it can. And it's all part of, I truly believe in my heart, the Lord's way of humbling the stubborn, because that's what I was. Very stubborn. I was very proud and prideful. Only in one thing. Well, actually three. I was proud of my physical strength. I mean, after my son died in 2013, I had went off in the oil field and I went over to Odessa, Texas, working on the oil rigs, and I didn't have a care in the world. Money was no problem, but there was only one problem when I was over there. I got tired of video chatting my wife. She wouldn't see me for 6 weeks at a time. I got tired of that. I got tired of having to see my kids grow up over the phone. So I found a local job. Still oil field job. I was making the same amount I was in Odessa. I was building centrifugal pumps. All that hard work I did in Odessa and working on the rigs and stuff, I never got hurt. When I started working at this other job, I started to see. I was only 30. I had just turned 30 when I started that local job there, and I had this rage in me from my son dying and all this stuff. I can't explain it to nobody, and I've always had that mentality of, I see people. Even now, I see people cursing God. I see people shaking their fist and challenging God. Like, who are you? And that's what I thought about me. Who am I to challenge God? I'm just a little nothing. That's God. There's no way. I don't stand a chance against God. So I never shook my fist at God. But I was so broken and hurt on the inside. And this is how sick my mind was back then. I was so broken and hurt on the inside, not only from the traumatic experience of finding my child dead, but also watching my best friend, my wife, my beautiful wife. I saw her broken and crying all the time, and I couldn't comfort her. I should have sucked it up and comforted her more. I should have, but I was broken too, and I didn't know. I didn't know how. There were so many times where I just wanted to talk, and people inside the church that I would go and try to talk and try to get this out. I don't like therapists. I don't want to talk to an atheist therapist who don't understand the love of Jesus and prayer. And I never wanted to do that. I just wanted to talk to a believer and maybe have some comfort and someone to love me and show me some kind of emotion, some kind of love, and just let me know that I'm not alone, or whatever the case may be, but I never got it. Everybody I reached out to in the church said the same thing that Wendy person told me on my channel. Stop complaining, stop whining, suck it up, just praise God. And it was in that moment people were telling me this. Man up, broken. Just absolutely broken. My heart was shattered into a million pieces. I couldn't pick it up. I was not angry with God. I was angry with people. I hated that doctor because that doctor I blamed for killing my child. And then I had these people down when we lived in this small town on the other side of Natchitoches, Louisiana. Somebody spread a rumor in this small town and told everybody that I killed my kid. And that was the sickest thing, because all those people that lived around in there went to the same church building every time the doors open. And they spread a rumor like that. I couldn't even grieve when my child died because the cops came. Of course, I get it. It's their job. It's their job to make people incriminate themselves. It's their job to act like Waffen SS. I get it. I see it. I know history. That's exactly what it is. It is what it is. People can say otherwise. It don't matter. Nothing new under the sun. We're witnessing Nazi Germany all over again in the United States. It wasn't like this prior to Operation Paperclip after World War II. None of this was like this. The cops didn't act the way they did. They didn't have the training they do now, which is SS training. It truly is. But anyhow, very emotionless, asking me all these horrific questions that, it just happened. Like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes prior. And I couldn't react because it was just, you're a piece of crap. And that's how I'm going to treat you. I'm not going to show you no emotion, nothing. I'm going to question you. I'm going to ask you all these questions that were very thorough. Very thorough. Had they even thought I did something, I'd been in jail. Be in jail right now. But that wasn't the case. And people still spread that rumor and that lie on me down in this small town, and it broke me even more. Because it was these same people that I tried to reach out and talk to and have some kind of emotion. I wanted to feel something because I was so empty after that. So empty. I just wanted to feel. And because the people in the church broke me more, I started to hate people in the church too. I want nothing to do with them. They make my brothers and sisters. They're not acting like that. You got to have money. You got to have this. You got to have that for these people to want you. And that's how it is in all these church buildings. I've tried, y'all. I've tried countless times, more than I can count. And everybody always told me that same line. Mine ain't like that. My church building ain't like that. Yes, it is. I've tried. They're just so blinded and been there so long they can't see it themselves. But anybody who comes in that door who's dirt poor and they see it, that's exactly how they treat you. Go read James 2 and start at verse 2, if you will. You can read it while I'm talking. It don't matter. Go read it. That's exactly how people are in the church. And that's how they treated me. Now, when I had money, it was different. I was accepted. And wanted around, and it was when I hit rock bottom and lost everything. I was cast out like Dookie. I mean, that's just the truth. And my mindset after all that trauma, my wife had to deal with it too, because she heard the rumors too, and it made her so mad. She was trying so hard, and I'm glad she didn't find out who started that, because she she wanted to hurt him like really bad, and it just hurt me really bad. I don't think I would have done anything about it. What can you do? Absolutely nothing. Just let people talk. But she would have. It hurt her to hear that from people, and then she had to, you know, defend me all the time, and I felt bad. Like, you shouldn't have to, you know, let people talk. Just let them say what they want. But being so broken like that, and then have people you think are, you know, fellow believers, and the Bible talks about loving one another and praying for one another and comfort one another, and I never got that. It wasn't until I made this channel, honestly, that, you know, I made friends with like Randy Wilson and Delvin Jones and Chris McLean and so many of you. And I'm thankful for that, because I never felt that before. Not people in the church, that the most mean, rotten, evil people. They're worse than the world. They're worse than the atheists. And it's sick to see, but it's the truth. I'm not here to lie to nobody. But back then, that oil field strength and all that stuff, I was so proud of that, because it was the only thing I had left. My heart was gone. My brain was messed up. And I was like, well, I still got my strength. I used to bait people. I was so angry inside, just so full of rage. I used to bait people on the oil field. They talk crap to you and call you names and stuff, and I would do a sarcastic laugh right in their face and just dare them to do something. Just touch me. That was my mindset. Just touch me. Let your shirt sleeve touch me, a hair, I didn't care. Just touch me. That's all you got to do. And I don't know why I did that. The best thing I can try to explain is I was so hurt and broken on the inside, I wanted somebody else to feel that. And the only way I could do that was making them physically feel it. Would that have satisfied me if that were to happen? No, it probably would have hurt me worse. And the fact that I probably would have been in jail or shot, or who knows. But I baited people, and they never acted on it. And I thank God for that. You know, I asked my wife the question not long ago, why is it back then people would say something and then I would say something back or laugh or whatever, and they never did anything? But now, I'm gentle, I try to be kind, I show people love, and now they want to do something. Now they want to try to provoke me. Now they want to try to battle with me with fists. And she said, you had a different look then. Well, how so? I guess when you have that 1,000-yard stare, people will just see that, you know, that's when you have that look, that, you know, that wild eye, where you stare off into space and you just look hollow, empty. You're unpredictable, and I guess people sense that. I don't know, but that's the look she said that I had then. It's just real unpredictable, and I guess that's why. I don't know, but again, I thank God that nobody pushed back when I pushed, but people push now. And they push really hard, and it's people inside the church that do it, not atheists. Not crazy story. When my truck broke down 2 weeks ago or so, I was sitting out there in that freezing cold. I got pneumonia and stuff. My wife was with me. She wouldn't go in the store. I said, go in the store and get warm, so you know you don't get sick or nothing. And she wouldn't leave my side. But she stayed in the truck at least. But I was trying to figure out things, and I had my hood popped. I was looking around. There was quite a few people up there. Some of them I've seen their faces before. And I was sitting there thinking when I seen him, I was like, I know that person from somewhere. Oh, that church building that I tried. Oh, there goes the preacher right there. Looked me right in my eyes and look away. Saw me struggling to, whatever, don't matter. You know, the only person that came and helped me, and I'm not talking about women now. That's a different thing. People are crazy today, and unless the Lord puts it on you, I wouldn't chance it if it was a woman, But these were dudes. It's different. The only person that truly came and helped me, which even right now I can't even think of his name. I know him. He lives out here somewhere. I actually known him a long time. I don't remember his name. My wife would know his name, but I don't. He's a Cajun guy. He talk like this, but I don't think he's got Cajun blood. I know I do. My grandpa was Acadian French, so I try to stress that to a lot of people. They say, you ain't Cajun. Well, Cajun's not an accent, it's a bloodline, so anybody can have that accent like this, but it's... Anyhow, that guy walked over and helped me push my truck and gave me and my wife a ride home and took care of us. He wasn't a believer. He's an atheist. I want to try to say I've had more good encounters with atheists than I have people inside the church. Even here on this YouTube channel. The most mean, cruel, evil people are in that church. And people don't want to see it. Because they listen to this man behind a podium tell them no matter what you do, you're still saved. And that is the biggest lie from the pits of hell. Go read James. Go read the book of James. It's about obedience. When you're doing this to people, are you being obedient? Let me tell you why I'm a little angry. My wife went to that visitation yesterday of her friend's husband that I told y'all who ended his life. And I got angry. Not at her, not at that woman, of what was told to me, of why that boy did that. Now listen to this. She'd been married to this guy for 11 years. They were together for 12, right? Kind of a similar situation of when I lost myself after my son died, right? Before that, my wife would tell you, I was a different person. Like, I could focus and all this other stuff, and then afterwards it was different. Like, my brain worked differently from that trauma. It's hard to explain, but so this guy, she said, he fell into a deep depression at the end of 2024. And just like I did, he tried to reach out to people inside the church. And she said that it got nowhere. They were telling him, act like a man, just man up, stop being a little girl, and toughen up. And instead of comforting him, loving on him, they did the opposite. Church members. But they did the same thing to me. And they do it now. On this channel, they do it now. It's not going to stop until the Lord separates the wheat from the tares, and those people are tares. They think they're not, but they are. You see it too. I'm not the only one. I don't attend those church buildings. I've never stepped foot back in them ever. Never. The Bible's very clear. Where two or more are gathered, there He, Jesus, is amongst them. God dwells in no place made with hands. Right here, folks, in your heart. That's where He dwells. Not in a building. When you hear these preachers all the time, I feel the Lord in this place. This is the Lord's house. No, it ain't. This is the Lord's house. In you, me, right here. That's the Lord's house. So this man tried to reach out, just wanted somebody to listen to him. It reminded me of what I went through. Just wanted somebody to listen, wanted somebody to comfort me, wanted someone to hug me, to show me some kind of emotion. And instead, I got heartless stone towards me in my hurt and my brokenness. Same thing this man got. But he couldn't handle it. It made him worse, she said. Oh, I cried with her. It hurt me to hear this. It hurts me right now talking about it. But it's the truth. This is how it is. There's many of you not going to believe it. That's fine. Believe what you want. I tell you what, go in your prayer closet and ask the Lord. Ask the Lord if I'm telling the truth here. Watch him reveal it to you. I have nothing to lie about. Not a one video that I've posted here on YouTube have I lied. Not a one. People just don't want to hear the truth. And the truth will set you free. So in January of 2025, she went out of town or something, and he wasn't answering his phone, text message, nothing. So she got worried. Of course, it's her husband. It's her best friend. And she called a family friend to go check on him. And that person did. Walked in the house and found him on the floor. The person said she thought that he was passed out because they didn't see any blood or anything. And walked over there and rolled him over. And that's when the person, I don't remember if it was a man or a woman. I don't remember what she said there because I was too focused on relating to this stuff. And I felt her pain. Though she was smiling, you could see it in people's eyes when they're broken. You truly, you could see it. That people can try to hide it, but it's there. And in fact, I've been fasting, and I don't know. I can see more and feel more now, and it's so strange that I can't put it into words. But I felt her pain, and what he had done was he opened a safe while he was there alone. The kids weren't there. She wasn't there. He grabbed a .22 and blasted himself right in the heart. But he didn't die instantly. Here's the weird part. And it made me wonder. And I was asking the Lord if what I was feeling was real. What was it? Is that what happened? And I felt, yes. He was locked in his body after that. I don't know if a fragment went to his brain. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody, she said nobody knew. But they knew that he was there, but he wasn't there. Like, he couldn't open his eyes. He couldn't eat. He couldn't even move. The only thing he could do was squeeze that one hand. And that's how she knew that he heard her while he was laying there for over a year. Over a year, he was locked in his body. Could you imagine? The torment with that. You're in your thoughts. You can't do anything. All you have is your thoughts. And this is where I started to think and ask the Lord while she was telling me these things. And I asked her, well, I told her that she needs to pray and ask the Lord to reveal it to her if that's how it went. Because, as I've stressed many times before, it's not for us to take our lives. The Lord, when it's your time, you're going to go. Thou shalt not kill. That includes yourself. And how do you repent from that? But the Lord didn't take him instantly for a reason. He was locked in his body, in his thoughts. She would ask him things and say, if you can hear me and understand me, squeeze my hand 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how she knew. And then he started deteriorating in November of last year. And then he died the 22nd of this month. Or last month, no, January. His body rejected the feeding tube, and she said he turned into bones within a month. And went to a coma and passed. But I asked the Lord while she was telling me this, did he? You didn't take him because, like, when he did that, because you gave him a chance to repent. If you're alone in your thoughts, I'm sure he cried out to the Lord. He couldn't deal with that no more. Lord, just take me. I can't do this. I'm locked in my body. I can't. I'm talking, but nobody hears me. I could just imagine. God is so merciful and so loving that you just can't understand it. You can't even fathom it, That's the same thing with eternity. In our mortal minds, we can't comprehend eternity. Forever and ever and ever and ever. It never ends. These 3 times that my heart had stopped. The first time seeing hell. It's a complete, and the Bible's true about it. It's a complete 180 from heaven. It's backwards, okay? So in heaven, you feel joy and you feel loved. You know you're loved. You know that you're wanted. For the first time in your life, you feel these things. And it's so overwhelming that nothing here in this life mattered. Not a thought of this place crossed my mind. Not my wife, not nothing. Troubles, I'm telling you, nothing. Now in hell, it's the complete opposite. You think about all your regrets. You think about your sorrows. You think about and you feel. That's the key thing here, folks. People think, oh, your soul, you don't feel anything. You do. I felt everything in hell. I had the touch. I felt touch. I smelt. You name it. It was there. I had all my feeling. And you go over to Revelation and read it. Well, what is hell? Just as this place, hell is temporary. Do you know what comes next? As if hell wasn't enough, the lake of fire. What happens at the great white seat judgment? Death and hell were delivered up and cast into the lake of fire. Could you imagine the rolling lake of literal fire burning your body? But not only do you have your senses when you die, it's multiplied. You think something here smells lovely, like fresh linen or whatever. When you die, it intensifies. In hell, I smelled sulfur. It was overwhelming, like it's unexplainable. Like you dive in a paper mill or something. It's so strong. In heaven, the smell was more. It was clean. I know I've smelt that smell, but it's stronger. I don't know. I can't think. It was almost like lavender and linen together almost, and it was just a beautiful, pleasant smell. But again, all your feel, your touch, your smell, everything's intensified when you die. So imagine you go put your hand on a stove and instantly you pull back. Oh, that hurt. Add that times 10 when you die. That's your feeling. Your soul. And not only that, when you cast into the lake of fire, at the end of the end, you have your body also. That's what people fail to realize. So you're going to have doubly. If your soul feels 10 times more than your body, you're also going to have that. It's even with the Lord in the glorified body, your body, this body, this shell is changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible. Y'all know this scriptures. It's there. But people don't listen. They throw out these things that make no sense, where, but what that means is your body's just going to fall dead and your soul's taken in the rapture. That's not it. It's plain English right there, folks. People just don't listen. This body will change. This body will change into incorruptible, because this body, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Why is that? Because of Adam and Eve. Because of sin. And people will always say, and I'm sorry for hollering, but my goodness, I got to get all this off of me. It's so heavy on me to talk about this stuff, and I don't even feel like this is me talking, y'all. I hear people all the time, I want God to reveal himself to me. Show yourself to me, Lord. If he did, you would die. It's in the Bible. We're so full of sin. It will kill us if he shows himself. That's why he comes to us in dreams and things, and people don't even believe that. This is a sick world. Very sick and dying world. And we live in the point in time where the church is worse than the world. And not just me, all of us are witnessing it. I've had so many comments, people telling me that they've experienced the same thing from believers. I see it on YouTube, people that have other channels. I could name names, but I'm not going to. Even though they've talked about me, and that's fine. I don't lie. That's not me. When I tell you I love you, I love you. And that's not me, that's the Lord. I'm telling you, in 2019, when that happened to me, something changed in me that I can't speak about. I want to so bad, and I can't talk about it. Even if I could explain it, no one would understand unless it happened to them too. But I found something that I never had before, and I started to love people, and I can't explain it to anybody. And my whole childhood, I was told to sit down and shut up. I never learned how to express myself because of how people were to me. And as I got older, it got harder for me to express myself. It got harder for me to tell people how I feel or show any kind of emotion, really. But I felt it. I just didn't know how to show. And that changed in 2019. It truly changed. I just want people to listen. I'm not the smartest man in the world. Matter of fact, 99% of you are smarter than I am. The only difference is I take the Bible serious. And I study it every day. And I love and enjoy reading it. It's a huge part of my life. I can't put it down. Everybody thinks everything in the Bible is symbolic. But I'm here to tell you that hell is real. I've seen it. And heaven is real. I've seen it. Now, here's the weird thing here. It's getting a little stuffy in this truck. The weird thing is, when me and my wife got there yesterday, I felt heavy to talk to that girl. I mean, it was heavier than me making these videos at times. I mean, I can't. I felt this pull, like, you better do it. Go over there and talk to her. She's broken. She needs somebody to talk to, because everybody, I seen it. I was sitting there watching these people just go up to her and be fake. I seen it on their face, just this fake, because I dealt with it too when my son died. I'm there if you need anything, fake. I'm so sorry, fake. Because people don't know what to say. But they don't keep their word with the, I'm here if you need anything. No, they don't. No one did for me either, but they said that same thing. And I sat there and watched people say that to her. Again, people just don't know what to say. But we live in a day and age where people are stoned. Their heart is stoned. They say they love you, but they don't. They love themselves and their own. If it was their kid or, and people now, let's like the Bible. God first, spouse, everything else. It doesn't say kids first, second. No. God, spouse, everything else. People don't live that way. They put kids over God and all this other stuff. But this heaviness was on me, and I said, Lord, I don't want to be like these other people that keep going up to her, even though I know her. I know her. I don't know her real well, but that was my wife's best friend at one time. And I met her, I don't know, a couple of weeks after I met my wife in 2009. So, I mean, I know her. She's a real sweet lady, you know. She's 2 years younger than my wife. She was born in 93, I think. My wife was born in 91. And I'm 7 years older than my wife. So, I just didn't want to be like everybody else and not have not the words to say. And I was like, Lord, if you bring me to her to talk to her, please give me something to say that'll comfort her, not just I'm sorry. Because what is I'm sorry? What does that help somebody? I'm sorry. And when you ask people for prayer, they say you're in my thoughts. I don't want to be in your thoughts. That's not helping me. Pray for me. Pray for me. Genuinely, don't just say you're going to pray for me. Pray for me. And oh my goodness, y'all. I want people to listen. That's all I ask is just hear me. Just listen. And that's all this guy wanted. Just someone to listen to him. Someone to hear him. Somebody to comfort him. And no one did. It's so sad. But that feeling was on me so heavy. And I ignored it. And I pushed it off. And I was like, Lord, please don't let me do this. I don't know what to say. And in my flesh, I was like, you know, I can't think of nothing to say. And instead, I should have said, Lord, give me the words to say. And I did. And I walked back up front to where my wife was and she was. And I gave her a hug and stuff. You know, I didn't say I'm sorry because I know how that feels. Right? I'm sorry does nothing. It helps no situation. When someone's hurt, it's not I'm sorry. It's let me comfort you. Let me hug you. Let me love on you. Let me tell you it's going to be all right. It's okay to cry. Don't tell people that it's not okay to cry because they shut down and they do what that man did. My goodness, y'all. That's what people tell me here. You cry too much. Man up. I've been a man my whole life. And then I found the Lord. And the Lord humbled me. That's the difference between me and you. You may not cry. You may not break when someone's broken. You may not cry with someone else. You may not feel their pain. You may not be there for them. You may not comfort them. You may be telling them to man up. But let me tell you what, that's not me. That's not the man I am. I'll cry with you. I'll love on you. I'll show you that I care. And then that's the difference. You want a heart of stone? That's on you. Don't let the Lord humble you like he did me because it hurts. And don't think he won't do it. Don't think it can't happen to you because it happened to me. And I used to say that same thing. Same thing. Buddy, I tell you. I went and told my wife after that feeling and stuff, I said, hey, I'm going to go sit back here. I don't want to get in anybody's way. There were so many people in there coming and going, you know. And I felt like as I was standing out in the alley because all the seats were pretty much full, and I felt like I was in the way, you know. I was like, oh, excuse me, sorry. And I said, hey, I'm going to go sit back here in the very, very back, and I'll let y'all visit and stuff. And, I'll just be right there. And I walked over there. And here you go. We can't make this stuff up. What I told y'all that I heard when my heart stopped in 2019, that celebration, that it was thousands and thousands of voices. Men, women, children. I heard laughter. I heard, it was just joy. I knew it was joy. I felt the joy. And I still to this day don't know, was that celebration because I made it? Me, of all people, I made it? I just don't know how rotten I used to be. I was the worst of the worst. You just don't know. You don't know. And I'm glad you didn't know me then. Because how could you take me serious now if you knew me then? If you knew how rotten I was and how mean and how unloving and uncaring I was, how would you think that I'm that way now? How would you believe it? There was probably 60 people in there or so. And it was a little room, I guess, little-ish, hollow. There's one door. And up front, you couldn't hear it. While I was sitting in the back, I heard very similar to what I heard in heaven. As that feeling was on me, y'all. And the Lord knows that I wanted to stay there with Him, and it was like He showed me that. I want you to do this. Don't you want this? Don't you want this? Don't you want to be back here with me? Well, I want you to do this. And then, I recorded it. I probably looked like a weirdo. I didn't care. I took out my little voice memo and I just had it on my lap, and I recorded like 19 seconds of what. And listen, let me turn my volume up here. I'll pray. Hold on. Let me turn this air conditioner off so y'all can hear. Listen. Let me get back here. All right. Now, you'll hear a voice at the end, and you'll understand when he says something about a dog. But everything else, you can't make out. And it's exactly how it was for me in 2019. I couldn't make out a single word. There was so much chatter and joy. And with this, add thousands more. Add some children talking. Children voices, I should say. And like glasses tapping. And it would be spot on. Listen. Can't make this stuff up, y'all. And it was so loud where I was sitting. So loud it was almost deafening. That does no justice. That little sound clip did no justice. I kid y'all not, it was loud. And I just like the enemy started attacking me in that moment when I heard that, because I started to break down, because I wanted to stay there with the Lord. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't understand. I wanted to stay there so bad, and He wouldn't let me. I had to come back here. I know now why, but I didn't then. I didn't understand. Lord, why you bring me there with you? You let me feel things I've never felt in my life. I felt your love. I felt like I was wanted for the first time in my life. I never felt like anybody ever wanted me around. But there, they wanted me. All those voices, I was wanted. And I had to come back here to pain and suffering and losing everything again multiple times. And just broken, beat down, defeated. And I couldn't understand, but again, I do now. It's for this. I don't know who you are, but it's for you. And if you just listen, whoever you are that the Lord's been putting it on me, if you just listen, you'll understand. It's hard to look through our traumas and our pains, mentally and physically. Don't think I don't have bodily pains. All these surgeries I've had. I don't have any disc in 3 of my in my spine, my lower back, L2, L4, and L7. I don't have no disc. It's bone to bone. I feel it all day long. It hurts. If I stand too long, it's just nothing but pain that I have to deal with every day. I just don't say nothing about it. When I say something, I have to deal with it. Either if I talk about it or not, I still got to deal with it. So I never say anything, because I don't think it mattered. I told my wife that, and she said, yeah, it matters. I said, to who? Literally, who cares? I mean, I have to deal with it. Nobody else does. So, not my pain anyway. So, and that's not just that. There's other stuff. Nerve damage. I mean, you name it. And I get it. All this stuff, y'all, this struggles and everything. It's hard to look through that. But if you do, and you focus You focus through that storm and you listen. You'll see the Lord's right there. You cry, he cries with you. I know that personally, trust me. And if you don't trust me, go pray about it and the Lord will reveal it to you. I have no reason to lie to nobody. I'm just a man that's been beat down lower than low because I wouldn't humble myself. In the presence of the Lord, I wouldn't humble myself. I was stubborn. And he humbled me. And boy, it hurt. It hurt bad. I was still stubborn after the first time, which was my son died. Still stubborn after I lost my strength. I didn't just lose it, it was ripped from me. I lost 85% of my muscle mass. 85% within a year. So I get it. But focus on the Lord and you'll see he's right there. He didn't leave you. Though you think it, these minions telling you. The Lord's not there. He's not, you know, whatever they say. It's all lies. But he's there. Possibly holding you and you just don't know because you can't feel it. You can't see past your pain, your sorrow, whatever it is. You can't see past it. Because it's too much for you to bear, you think. But it's not. That's the enemy telling you it is. Well, after I heard that, I started to wig out. I know it was the enemy. I really started to freak out. And I walked back over there to my wife and I said, can I have the keys to the truck? Go get something to drink. But I was thirsty, yeah. But I wanted to come out and sit down and just calm down, you know. It was overwhelming. Literally freaking out. And then I listened. Randy called me. In that moment, I started to freak out. It's so weird. It's like the Lord put it on him to call me. I needed that. And he did. He called me as I was walking out to the truck. Walked up through all that noise I let y'all hear. Walked back through it and walked outside. My phone started to ring as I was walking out of that room. Picked it up and it was Randy. While he's on my mind right now, I'm going to show y'all something. And I ask of you, 1 second. Now look, I can't, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce this. Every Saturday night, Randy goes live and he sings and it's beautiful. I told him, every time I close my eyes after reading Psalms or something, and I just picture David, Randy pops in my mind. It's so, I can't explain it. And he laughs about that. And I say, no, you just don't get it. I even told my wife about that. I said, I cannot picture what David may have looked like without seeing Randy. I mean, anyways, every Saturday night, y'all come see for yourself. It's beautiful. Come see. I try to make it every Saturday that I can, unless I have something going on, you know. But my goodness, he is the best friend that I don't think I've ever had a friend like him. He was always there for me. He was there for me when I was dying in 2024. He's been there for me through everything, and he just, it's like the Lord puts it on him and he calls me at the right time, all the time. And my daddy used to be like that. And I didn't have that no more. My daddy died 7 years ago. He used to call me all the time and give me the right words to calm me down or whatever. And I didn't have that for a long time. And I met Randy and now he's like that. Well, I'm grateful for his friendship. I tell y'all the truth, I'm very grateful. But again, I know this video's getting long, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the holler, and I want people to listen. I feel like I'm not being heard. You hear me, but you ain't listening. I try my best to obey everything the Lord puts on me to do. Everything. Through the painful or whatever. And sometimes through the struggles, I need a push here and there, and I get judged for that. I can't help it. I try. I fight. I've clawed my way through this life. Literally, bleeding nails and all, just clawed my way through here. And for what? Then I felt what I felt in 2019, and I've realized that this stuff don't matter. That's why I'm not really that upset about my truck. I would have been. It hurt. It did, because, the memories in it, and, how much I paid for it. Like $15,000, but that was 11 years ago. Things depreciate. God is good through it all. Even though you can't see it. I know you can't see it in all your pain and struggles. You can't see that. But He is great. And He's there. He didn't abandon you. Don't let the enemy get in your ear and tell you the things that he told this guy and made this guy, it pushed him over the edge. And don't be like those people that didn't comfort him and didn't offer prayer and didn't offer to be there for him. People get busy. We know this. I get busy at times too. But that don't mean you got to be a jerk to people and tell them to quit crying and man up and all this other stuff. Don't do that to people. Because what are you going to do? Especially you people that's come here and did that to me. What are you going to do when you stand before the Lord and He says, do you know how many people have ended their life because of what you said to them? And then you start crying and the Lord says, quit crying, man up. How you going to feel? It hurts. And I felt that woman's pain. I really did. And I'm glad I got to talk to her. I'm glad that I listened to the Lord and went over there and talked to her. Because no one else did. People just didn't know what to say, I guess. I don't know. I prayed when I went down there because we had to go through that town that I don't ever want to go back to. To go to Natchitoches, we went through there, and I said, Lord, please don't let me run into anybody I knew from that town. Just didn't want to see, I don't want to see them. It was good for a while. And I looked over right when we was about to leave, and guess what? I saw somebody that lived in that town. Actually, one of my family members. Her and my daddy was real close growing up. I used to be real angry with her, and I don't know why. Maybe that's why the Lord put her there. She said she wasn't supposed to be there. It was really weird. But I felt the urge to go sit down and talk to her, too. I mean, she's, I think she was born in 52, so she was a year older than my dad. My dad was born in 53, and so was my mom. And she was telling me all these stories about what they did growing up out there in the boondocks, and it turned out she wasn't as bad as I thought she was. I enjoyed talking to her, and I'm thankful that the Lord put it on me to go talk to her. I wasn't going to, but I'm telling you, it was put on me. Go talk to her. Go get to know her. If you don't know her, go talk to her. Just listen, y'all. Listen. The Lord will tell you things. Listen. Even though it could be through somebody else that He's putting it on someone to tell you. And for a lot of people, that's not good enough. You want to hear Him. But I'm here to tell you, if you're going through things like I was back in the day, and people are telling you the same thing you told me, man up, suck it up, buttercup. That's what, all this other stuff is what they say. And your trauma, your pain, your hurt, your brokenness, you can't hear him. So yeah, if you can't hear him because you're not listening, you can't see past your hurt, he's going to put it on someone to come tell you. And just be thankful he did that, because you're not listening. I wasn't listening either. I couldn't hear him either. But he showed me that he was there. He was there when I was so broken that I wanted to hurt somebody. He was there. Every time I cried alone, I never did it in front of people. I was too tough for that. And then people tell you, man, I did. I'd go sit in my truck, drive down the lake, whatever. I'd cry my eyes out by myself. Didn't show no emotion at all. And he was there. He showed me. I just didn't listen. Romans 10:9-13. I love all of you. God bless.